Hello, 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 hello. Happy Friday. We made it. Listen, this is 2 weeks going strong live on YouTube. Listen, if none of y'all will clap for me, I'm clapping for myself because Monday through Fridays at noon, um, regardless of what's going on, it is not an easy win. So, welcome back. Happy Friday. Thanks for joining. As you're popping in, let me know where you're from, where you're watching from, where you're listening from. Things are broadcasting okay. So, let me know if any sound or visual challenges with this broadcast today because, as you can tell from my background, I am not coming at you from Denver, Colorado. I'm actually in Houston, Texas right now. And yeah, I'm really happy to be digging into today's topic. Today, we're going to be talking about should you start a coaching business? Should you start a coaching business? I'm going to be going through some reasons why you should, some reasons why you shouldn't. Hello, hello, hello. Thanks for joining. And I'm really excited about this topic because this is one where a lot of people, they want the answer to this question, really don't have very specific things that they can measure against whether or not it's time to start a coaching business, whether or not they should be starting a coaching business, whether they should be putting time and energy into some other aspect of online business. Thanks so much for joining. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm coming at y'all live from APX today on this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Friday. Let me know where you're from. Where you watching from? Where you listening from? Okay. So we're just going to be getting right into it because I really am going to do something that I believe most coaches won't do, and I'm going to tell you exactly who my program Ignite is for and who it. I'm going to be answering all the questions. I'm going to be answering the questions about the ones that women are afraid to ask because they don't want to seem like they can't afford it. I'm going to be answering questions that women are afraid to ask because they're not ready. I'm even going to be answering questions that women are afraid to ask because they've been burned before by a program, an online program, by a coach, by a consultant, and they just need a little bit of reassurance that this is different. And I'm going to do it all without pressure because here's what I believe about selling a coaching program or any online product for that matter. And that is if it's the right fit, the information speaks for itself. If it's not the right fit, I'd rather you know that up front and find that out after than to find that out after you've paid. So what I'm doing here, it's not a sales tactic. You're definitely going to get the insight that you need to know whether or not you should or shouldn't be starting a coaching business. And this is just really how I think about online business and business in general. This is how I think it should work. I think you should know upfront whether or not it is a right fit for you. So, welcome back to Nick at Noon. Happy Friday. My name is Nick Scott, and I'm a business coach who helps women use their existing skills to build sustainable online businesses without quitting their 9 to 5, without the hustle, the burnout, or the overwhelm. Today is Proof Friday, and applications for the founding cohort of my group program, Ignite, they close on Monday, March 23rd. And today we're having a real conversation about whether this program is right for you, about whether coaching is right for you, about whether building online businesses is right for you. Okay. Are y'all ready? Show me some love on YouTube. I see you in the building. All right, let's get into it. So before I get into the what, I want to take a minute to acknowledge what this week, literally this week, has been. On Monday, I talked about the number one thing stopping professional women from coaching, and it wasn't the thing that most people think. it was an identity shift, going from that employee mindset to that entrepreneur mindset. And it was literally, I talked about the move from seeing yourself as someone who works for someone else who has the skills to seeing yourself as someone whose skills are worth paying for. That's what we talked about on Monday. If you missed it, you can go back and watch the replay. I am going to be archiving all of the replays of these lives on my YouTube channel, so you can go back and watch them at any moment. So on Tuesday, I dismantled 3 of the biggest misconceptions about building a coaching business. Y'all remember what that was? Hustle, audience size, and niching down before you've even sold anything or coached a real person. On Wednesday this week, I spent some time telling you about one of my past clients, Miss J, and I gave you her story. She was a woman who came from HR and recruiting. She raised her prices 3 times while we were working together, and she made over $10,000 in 21 days from a coaching business built on skills she had been giving away for free. Y'all remember that? That was on Wednesday. And then yesterday, which was Thursday, we got into the philosophy behind why I built Ignite and why most coaching programs specifically fail professional women. Why coaching programs specifically fail this specific group of women. And today is the last piece. And I feel like it's the most practical one because at this point, you've either been in the amen corner and nodding along all week thinking, yes, this resonates, Nick, but I have a lot of questions. Or you've been on the fence about whether any of this applies directly to you. So either way, this episode, I mean, that's a fancy way of saying episode, I guess. This episode of Nick at Noon is for you. This is for you. Thanks so much for hopping in on YouTube. I see you. Okay, so let me start off with who Ignite is designed for. And I want to be specific because I think specificity is more respectful for you than casting out just a broad net. And at the foundation, Ignite is for the professional woman who has built a real, substantive, hard-earned skills. She's built these skills over years of working in her field, whatever her field is. And this program is for the woman who is ready to turn those skills into a coaching income stream. And like I said, that is the foundation. But if it's okay with you, I want to go a little deeper than that. Is that okay with you? I want to go just a little bit deeper than that. Because Ignite is truly for the woman who has been the person everyone comes to for advice, whatever her field is. And I'm talking about for that colleagues ask how to navigate a difficult patient conversation. I love to use teachers as an example. If you've been watching for the past 2 weeks, you know that I use teachers as an example a lot. And so I'm talking about teachers where others reach out to them when they're struggling with classroom management or administrator conflict, or the HR professional whose network is consistently asking her questions to review their resumes, to prep for interviews, or to think and brainstorm through a career pivot. Or the project manager who has become the unofficial mentor for every junior person on her team. Now, these are just a few examples, right? This is not the list of the types of women who could join this program and who could take their skills that they've developed over the course of years and whatever the field is and turn them into income. Because Ignite is for the woman that if people have been coming to you for free, informally and consistently, and they're coming to you with problems that you know how to solve, You are sitting on a coaching business. You're sitting on a coaching business. You're sitting on an online business that you can build right now today. And Ignite is designed to help you build with intention. Ignite is for the woman who is serious about building income from her skills, not somebody that's just interested in it, right? Somebody that is actually serious about it. Ignite is for the woman who is willing to do the work. I said that this week, right? Just because something is simple, just because something is easy, just because you have a framework around it, it doesn't mean that it doesn't require work. So, Ignite, and let's be clear, every program that I have ever developed since I've been in this industry since 2018, every single product, every single program has always been developed for women who are willing to do the work that is required to make whatever the thing is happen. And in this, Ignite is for the woman who is willing to do the work to make her online coaching business a reality. This is not a passive program. None of the products or services that I offer are passive. I'm not a passive person. So you will be expected to show up and you will be expected to do the work between the sessions. And you're expected to have real conversations with real people. You will be expected to make offers before you feel completely ready. You will. The same way that you have expectations of me. Hello, hello, hello. Thanks so much, new subscriber. The same way that you have expectations of me as your coach, I have expectations of you when you sign up for any of my programs, when you buy any of my products. And the women who get the best results from any of my programs, products, or services, they're the ones who treat them like the business investment it is, and they show up accordingly from the start. So, Ignite is for the woman who has tried to figure this out on her own and she hit a wall. She's watched YouTube videos. She's bought courses. She's opted into free lead magnets. She's read books. She's on a million different email lists, but she still feels like she's missing something. Like all the information in the world, all the information in your Claude memory and in your GPT memory, it hasn't translated into a clear, confident path forward for you. So the missing piece is usually not more information. We are in a time in history where information is available literally at our fingertips. Like, what is that Liberty commercial? The phone computer? Like, it's literally at our fingertips. And that doesn't mean that you're able to have a clear, confident path forward just because you have more information, right? So the missing piece is usually not more information. It's a structured framework applied to your specific situation by somebody who has done it before. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Because that is exactly what Ignite delivers. Ignite is for the woman who is balancing real life while building her business on the side. Listen, I said it before, I'm going to say it again today, and I'll probably say it again on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and every time I come to these lives, and that is her income edit is built for the woman who is still working 9 to 5. Her income edit and the products and programs and services I offer, it's built for the woman who has a full-time life. So Ignite is like every other one of my programs, products and services. It is built for the woman who has a full-time job or she's transitioning out of one. It's built for the woman who has family responsibilities, community commitments, a life outside of her business that she is not willing to sacrifice, or she's not willing to succumb and give up the ghost to the hustle. Her income edit is built on an anti-hustle in the margins, with margins of her full life. She is not looking for a program that assumes she has 40 hours additional every week to decide to build something from scratch. Ignite is for that woman. All those women that I just described, that's who Ignite is for. And my anti-hustle philosophy isn't just a tagline, y'all. It's literally baked into the structure of everything that I create at Her Income Edit. And Ignite is for the woman who is done waiting. Are you done waiting? If you are done waiting, type done in the comments. Type done in the chat if you are done waiting. Ignite is for the woman who is done waiting for another credential or accolade. The one who's done waiting for the right moment, who is done waiting until she feels more confident or more qualified. Remember, feelings are not always fact. Ignite is for the woman who is done waiting for permission from someone external to doing what she knows that she's equipped to do. So if you've been waiting and you're tired of it, Ignite was built for you. Okay? Now, I just spent, I don't know how many minutes talking about who Ignite is for. I want to spend some time talking about who this program is not for, because I think this is one of the most things that I can tell you. And also, this is the part I feel like most coaches skip because they're afraid of losing potential clients. And I'm not afraid of losing potential clients, because the wrong fit costs both of us more than a declined application ever will. So, with that said, Ignite is not for the woman who is looking for a get rich quick solution. That's not what this is. So if you're expecting to enroll a 12-week program on a Monday and have a 6-figure business by Friday, this ain't it. Building a coaching business takes time, it takes consistency, and it takes focused, intentional, dedicated work. What Ignite does is compress the learning curve. So it makes it a shorter distance from idea to your first client. And I give you a framework that gets you to the results and the money faster than you would if you did this alone. That's what Ignite does. But faster does not mean instant. Hello, sincerely share. Happy Friday. I see you from Pennsylvania. Thanks for joining. So faster does not mean instant. Just because I'm giving you a framework to help you get there faster, it doesn't mean that it's instant. So if your expectation is instant in this, we're going to be misaligned from day one. Okay? This isn't a get rich quick situation. In fact, I don't believe there's any ways to get rich quick. And if there is, let me know. Y'all can let me know in the comments in the chat if you know of a way to get rich quick. Please let me know so that I can get in on it. Willing, visible, because coaching is a relationship business. Coaching is a relationship business. It is a trust business, and people have to know you exist. They need to hear your perspective. They need to know that you have your own opinions, your own thoughts, and your own ideas around whatever the thing is that you are an expert at. And people need to feel, they need to feel you enough. They need to feel trust enough to invest in working with you. And that requires showing up somewhere in some form. And whether that is a live show, a podcast, a newsletter, social media, or direct conversations with people in your network, you got to show up. You're going to have to. So if you're committed to staying completely invisible and then hoping that clients are just going to magically materialize without any visibility whatsoever, Ignite's not going to solve that problem. It's not going to solve that problem. And the mindset work around visibility is built into the program, but the willingness to do the work, that part comes from you. It comes from you. So Ignite is for the woman who isn't clear that Ignite is not for the woman. I misspoke. I'm sorry. Ignite is not for the woman who isn't clear that she wants to build a coaching business, because the whole premise of the program is to take you from idea to your first coaching clients within 1 quarter. So if you're still in the exploration phase of trying to figure out whether or not you want to build a coaching business, if you're genuinely unsure whether coaching is the right vehicle for the income that you want to build, this program is not the right next step for you. However, if you're still in the exploration phase, the right next step for you is clarity. And I do have some free resources that can help you get the clarity that YouTube have a free guide with 101 different coaching ideas to help you get started. And I have a 5-day email course to help you get the clarity you need. So those are 3 free resources that I have. Also my blog at herincomeedit.com/slash blog. All of those are linked down in the description. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I will continue to publish and give you some of these resources to help you get the clarity you need. So the thing about all of this is that Ignite is designed for the woman who has already made the decision that coaching is the direction she's headed, and she's ready to build the infrastructure to make that happen. And then lastly, Ignite is not for the woman who isn't ready to invest in her business, because I'm going to be crystal clear, transparent as I can, because I think it serves nobody to dance around it. Ignite is a premium program with a premium price point. And it's priced that way because the coaching, the curriculum, the framework, the community, and the results that you will get, they're premium. And if investment in a premium product is a genuine hardship right now, meaning if paying for Ignite would create some type of financial tension in your life, I want you to wait. I want you to wait, because there is no version of a business investment that is worth compromising your financial stability. It goes completely against everything that Her Income Edit is built upon. I am not one of those coaches who is selling a program and going to try to convince you or persuade you or encourage you to go broke to invest in my program. There is no version of that exists in the Her Income Edit world, in the Nick Scott ecosystem. No version of that. So if the investment is a genuine hardship, I truly want you to wait. But if the investment feels uncomfortable in the way that all meaningful, significant investments are uncomfortable, what do you mean by that, Nick Scott? I'm glad you asked. What I mean is, if the investment requires you to commit to something before you feel completely certain about the outcome, that is a different conversation. And that is the conversation I want to give you once we get to the FAQ that I'm going to give you here in a second. So, fact of the matter is, I've been doing this long enough to know what women are wondering when they're considering a program like Ignite, something that's premium, something that the woman listening on the other side of this, they know like, oh my gosh, a coaching business really could change my life. Starting an online business really could allow me to turn my skills into income and to start to create options and a safety net outside of the one paycheck that I have coming in from my 9 to 5. So I'm going to answer all the questions. I'm going to answer the questions in the back of your mind that you might not even be willing to say out loud yet. Yesterday, I gave an invitation that if you had questions, you can email me or you can DM me on Instagram and we can have a conversation about that. But today, I'm just going to be proactive and answer some questions that, in my experience, I have found that people have when it comes to investing in a program like this. And the first question is, I don't have a niche yet. Can I still join? We have talked about niching this week, and we're going to continue to talk about niching, but I want to address it specifically as it relates to this program. And the question is, yes, you can still join because finding your niche is one of the things that we do. It's not a prerequisite for joining in. In fact, I'd argue that coming in without a perfectly defined niche is it's often better than coming in with one you've been overthinking for 6 months or a year or however long it's been. And here's the thing, the niche work we do inside of this program is grounded in your professional and personal history. It's grounded in the conversations that you've been having with real people. The niche work we do is not a worksheet exercise, it's a discovery process. And it produces a niche that fits where you are right now rather than one that sounds good in theory. So the second question you might be having is, well, I don't have a big audience. Will that be a problem? And you already know the answer. You've been listening. If you've watched any of the videos this week that I've been talking about, and the answer is no. We talked in depth about audience size Tuesday. The audience size does not, especially early stages of building